I think there's a lot of different reasons. I think that she may want a certain lifestyle where like she doesn't want to take care of a child. She wants to go to school. She wants to work a job. She doesn't want to, you know, take care of a baby. She may be raped and she doesn't like the child that was produced by that rape. But like, it all comes down to selfishness, basically. Like the reason that somebody wants to murder another person is selfishness.
I don't think that's selfish to not want to carry the child of a rapist, or, you know, I just don't think that that's right for you to call someone selfish for not having the same beliefs that you believe.
Well,
I mean,
it is kind of selfish when you realize that you're murdering another human being so that you can get what you want.
What about like miscarriages? Does that count as murder as well?
Well, murder is the intentional killing of an innocent human being, the unjust killing, intentional unjust killing of an innocent human being. So a miscarriage is a natural death. That's not the intentional killing.
Is it really unjust?
It is unjust because that baby's living in the first stages of life, that in the very same place where every human being needs to live. Everybody needs to live inside the body of their mother in the first stages of life. Nobody has a right to interfere with that and murder that child.
I don't think that really just valuing the life of a child that isn't even born yet should be held above that of a woman. I mean,
so you're discriminating?
Choice, I'm not.
You're treating a born person as more valuable than the preborn person.
I think so, because they are their own individual person. They're not going to go through. I don't think it's fair to force someone to go through a whole process of giving birth to a child they might not even want, and there's like financial burdens and stuff like that. It's just it just breaks my heart. You don't even.
But it doesn't.
You don't see other aspects besides the sole point of view of that. It's just selfish. It's not selfish because you're just thinking about yourself and your position. You don't think about other people or what they're going through or how they might not have the money or the means, or, you know, just things like that. It's so rude of you to think that that's selfish. And I've never gone through it. I've never had that experience. But to me, for you just to think that it's selfish of all things, that's so fucked up.
No, when you think about what's actually happening, a little baby being mutilated to death, nothing justifies that.
I think
yes, it is. That's a little baby being murdered.
And you should think about the lives that are here now instead of holding something else.
This baby is here now, though. The baby is here now. The baby's living in the first stages of life, and you're saying that there's certain circumstances where you can murder someone.
It's not a baby. It's like a sperm and an egg, and then from then there's stages. It's like a sea monkey at one point. It's not a full baby. It doesn't have a spirit. It doesn't have a soul.
No, it does. No, at conception, a new human being comes into being. Like, ask any biologist. Ask, like, you'll read an embryology textbook. It's a new organism that comes into being, and that organism grows and grows and grows through the stages of the human life.
Organism is meant to, you know, live, and that's fine. That's the natural part of life. You know, there's birds that leave the nest and then they die when they hit the floor. That doesn't make them a murderer for encouraging them to leave. You know, it's just it's like there's a difference. There's so many aspects that you're not even looking at, and it's just
none of that justifies murder.
For you to even come here and just harass these people, it's so heartbreaking that you would even do this for your own personal beliefs. And it's not facts, it's just your own opinion.
No, it's not.
Believe they shouldn't be killed.
It's not an opinion, it's God's word that people have value because they're created in the image of God.
The Bible only has one part about abortion, and it literally just tells you how to perform one.
No, it doesn't. Yes, no, it doesn't, ma'am. No, the Bible tells us that people are created in God's image. That's why we have value.
What about people that aren't religious? What about people that don't have a God?
Everyone is religious. Everyone has a God.
I have no God.
You make yourself God. If you live for yourself, if you make yourself the highest standard for justice and morality and truth, then you've made yourself God. But I'd encourage you to love every human being in every stage of life, because we all need to grow through those stages of development. We all need love and care and support inside our mother. Our mothers should love us and take care of us no matter what.
People who don't want that for themselves, that's okay to let them have the choice to not want that for themselves. It's okay to give people the choice, the future, to do what they want to do with their own personal bodies. It's their own selves, their own bodies. They should not be controlled by anybody else. Whether it's your own personal belief, you should not let that dictate what anybody else does with their own personal body.
But don't you see how that's selfish when people are thinking about themselves? It's all about me, myself, and I. What I can get.
It's about what there's so many different reasons why somebody would want to do this.
Not if that means murdering someone.
And it's not murder.
Yes.
It's just your own personal thing.
No, it is. It's because you're dehumanizing the child.
And that's okay because
no, it's not.
What? It's not even a child at some point. It's just that, you know.
No, it is. It's a developing child. It's like saying a 5-year-old isn't a child because they're not as developed as a 10-year-old.
That's not the same
Just
thing.
because you're less developed doesn't mean you're not a child.
That is not the same thing.
Why?
Because a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old are completely different. That's the
No, they're both. One is less developed than the other, right?
No.
So is one less valuable than the other?
I'm just saying, like.
That's what you're saying. You're saying because they're less developed, they're less valuable.
That's not the kind of comparison you could be making. That's like.
Yes, it is. You're saying that because you're less developed.
Tell me what you think I'm saying. Do not put words in my mouth.
Then what are you saying?
I'm saying stop being a dick and harassing people with your shitty poster just because you believe something from some shitty old book from the fucking 15th century when everyone died at the ripe old age of 18 from fucking polio and people killed babies all the time. So that's what I'm saying.
Ma'am, you should love these kids.
That's what you're saying. Bullshit.